7 is how many soldiers does Gideon need in order to take out the Midianites? He starts with 32,000. God said, whittled it down to 10,000. Now, those who were not selected were lacking in faith and not ready for battle. Still, God said, even with these 10,000, the soldiers will boast that it was through their power that they defeated the enemy and took over the Midianite camp. And this shall not be, because it's God who fights our battles for us and who obtains our victories. So God devised a way to find 300 only that would go to war with Gideon and take over the Midianite camp. There was water to drink, and thousands of the men got down like dogs and leapt, past tense, I don't know. They drank the water like a dog would. 300 scooped the water with their hand and drank it in a more godly fashion. They were more focused on the battle than on their immediate need of having a little bit of water. They were ready to go. And they had faith that God would see them through. And how many battles do we face on a daily basis in our lives? And how often do we remember the importance of prayer and that God has already won the battle for us if we will only allow Him to do so through faith? And there is not very much more to the essence of what happens right there, except to say that the Midianites were evil, they were worshiping Baal, and again, they were not in God's favor for very valid reasons. You know, when some people look at the Bible and they see God waging war on behalf of the Jews, on behalf of Israel, standing with them and wiping out large portions of populations, they say, oh, God is so evil. But they're also the same ones who are clamoring for justice when there's some terrible headline of man's inhumanity to man. So you can't have it both ways. And as for me, I find that in reading the Bible, you eventually get past that feeling of being abhorrent to God's wrath, and you become more of a crusader, supportive of God's wrath and justice, because it's also God's love. Of course, after the Gideon had passed away some time later, the Israelites, the Jewish people, they unfortunately went back to forgetting about God and having bad things happen to them. And that's really just the lesson. That's the lesson of Joshua 7-9. Stand with God, be godly in your actions, be faithful, because God is faithful. And remember to always praise God for the battles that we win. And we will win more of them. because it doesn't work the other way.